Hello, everyone. I'm Adam.
And I'm Julia. We are thrilled to have you with us today. For those of you who are joining us for the first time, The English Globe is your go-to podcast for everything related to learning English. We discuss tips, strategies, and the latest trends in language learning to help you on your journey.
Absolutely, Julia. Today we have a special episode lined up for you. We are going to explore a topic that is becoming increasingly important in the world of language learning: the effectiveness of technology in learning languages.
That's right. With the rapid advancement of technology, there are now more tools and resources available than ever before. From mobile apps and online courses to virtual classrooms and language exchange platforms, the options are endless.
To help us dive deeper into this topic, we have a special guest with us today. Maria is an expert in technology and language learning, and she has extensive experience in integrating tech into educational environments. Welcome, Maria.
Thank you, Adam and Julia. I'm excited to be here and to share my insights with your listeners.
Maria, we're so glad you could join us. Before we get into our main discussion, can you tell us a little bit about your background and how you became an expert in this field?
Of course, Julia. I've been working in the field of educational technology for over 15 years. I started my career as a language teacher and quickly became interested in how technology could enhance learning. Over the years, I've worked with various educational institutions and tech companies to develop and implement digital tools for language learning.
That's fascinating, Maria. It's clear that you have a wealth of knowledge and experience to share with us. What inspired you to focus specifically on technology and language learning?
Well, Adam, I noticed that many students struggled with traditional methods of language learning. They found them boring and not very engaging. I saw the potential for technology to make learning more interactive and fun, and to provide personalized learning experiences that cater to individual needs. This led me to pursue further studies in educational technology and to explore innovative ways to integrate tech into language education.
That's really interesting, Maria. Technology certainly has the power to transform how we learn. In today's episode, we'll be discussing various aspects of this transformation. We'll cover everything from language learning apps and online courses to virtual classrooms and language exchange platforms.
Yes, and we'll also look at some of the latest trends in language learning technology, such as virtual reality, VR, and artificial intelligence, AI. We'll discuss the benefits and challenges of these technologies and provide practical tips for our listeners on how to use them effectively.
I'm looking forward to it. There's so much to talk about and so many exciting developments in this field.
Absolutely. So let's get started. To kick things off, we'll begin with an overview of how technology has changed the landscape of language learning. Maria, can you give us a brief history of the evolution of language learning technology?
Of course, technology has come a long way in the past few decades. Initially, language learning was limited to textbooks and classroom settings. With the advent of computers, language labs became popular, providing students with audio and visual resources. The internet revolutionized access to information, and online courses and resources became available. Today, we have mobile apps, interactive platforms, and immersive technologies like VR, which offer a more dynamic and personalized learning experience.
That's a great summary, Maria. It's amazing to see how far we've come. And now, with so many options available, it can be overwhelming to choose the right tools and resources. But don't worry, we'll guide you through it all in this episode.
Yes, we will. Stay tuned as we delve deeper into each aspect of technology in language learning. Whether you're a beginner or an advanced learner, there's something for everyone.
All right, let's get started. Maria, let's begin by discussing one of the most popular tools for language learning today: language learning apps.
Segment 1. Overview of technology in language learning.
Let's start with a general overview. Maria, how has technology changed the way we learn languages?
Technology has revolutionized language learning by making it more accessible and flexible than ever before. In the past, learning a language often required attending classes in person, which could be time-consuming and expensive. Now, thanks to technology, learners can access a wide variety of tools and resources from anywhere in the world at any time. This includes apps, online courses, virtual classrooms, and much more. These tools cater to different learning styles and needs, making it easier for everyone to find a method that works best for them.
That sounds amazing, Maria. It seems like there are always new tools and platforms coming out. Can you give us some examples of these technologies and how they are used?
Certainly. There are many popular technologies in language learning today. For example, Duolingo is a well-known app that uses gamification to teach vocabulary and grammar. It's great for beginners because it's engaging and easy to use. Another example is Rosetta Stone, which has been around for many years and offers a more immersive learning experience by focusing on visual and auditory cues. Babbel is another app that provides structured lessons for various proficiency levels. Additionally, language exchange platforms like Tandem and HelloTalk connect learners with native speakers for real-time practice, which is invaluable for improving conversational skills.
Those are some great examples, Maria. Can you tell us more about how these tools cater to different learning styles?
Of course, different people have different ways of learning, and technology can accommodate these differences. For visual learners, apps like Rosetta Stone and Memrise use images and videos to teach new words and phrases. For auditory learners, there are podcasts and audio courses available, such as those offered by Pimsleur. Kinesthetic learners, who learn best by doing, can benefit from interactive apps and language games that involve active participation. Moreover, many platforms offer a mix of these elements to provide a comprehensive learning experience.
It's interesting to see how technology can support various learning styles. What about the flexibility that technology offers? How does it benefit language learners?
Flexibility is one of the biggest advantages of using technology for language learning. With mobile apps and online courses, learners can study at their own pace and on their own schedule. This is particularly useful for busy individuals who may not have the time to attend regular classes. Additionally, technology allows for personalized learning experiences. Many apps and platforms use algorithms to track progress and adapt lessons to the learner's level and needs. This means that learners can focus on areas where they need the most improvement, making their study time more efficient.
That makes a lot of sense. Personalized learning can really help learners progress faster. What about the role of virtual classrooms and online tutoring? How do they fit into the picture?
Virtual classrooms and online tutoring are excellent ways to get more personalized instruction and real-time feedback. Platforms like italki and Preply connect learners with qualified tutors for one-on-one lessons. This can be especially beneficial for practicing speaking skills and getting immediate corrections and feedback. Virtual classrooms, on the other hand, offer the experience of a traditional classroom in a digital format. Students can interact with teachers and peers, participate in discussions, and complete assignments online. These options provide a more structured learning environment while still offering the flexibility of online learning.
It sounds like there are so many options available. How should learners decide which tools and resources to use?
It's important for learners to consider their goals, learning style, and schedule when choosing tools and resources. For example, someone who wants to improve their conversational skills might benefit from a language exchange platform or online tutoring. A beginner looking to build a strong foundation in vocabulary and grammar might start with an app like Duolingo or Babbel. It's also a good idea to try out different tools and see which ones you enjoy and find most effective. Many apps and platforms offer free trials, so you can test them out before committing.
That's great advice, Maria. It's all about finding what works best for each individual. As technology continues to evolve, what are some future trends you see in language learning?
One exciting trend is the use of artificial intelligence, AI, to create more personalized and adaptive learning experiences. AI can analyze a learner's progress and provide customized feedback and recommendations. Another trend is the use of virtual reality, VR, and augmented reality, AR, to create immersive learning environments. For example, VR can simulate real-life conversations and scenarios, which can be very beneficial for practicing speaking and listening skills. Additionally, we are seeing more integration of language learning with social media and online communities, which provides more opportunities for real-world practice and cultural exchange.
Those are fascinating developments. It seems like the future of language learning is very bright. Before we move on to our next segment, do you have any final thoughts on the overview of technology in language learning?
I think it's important for learners to stay open to new technologies and be willing to experiment with different tools and methods. Technology offers so many possibilities for making language learning more engaging, effective, and enjoyable. By taking advantage of these tools, learners can enhance their skills and achieve their language learning goals more efficiently.
Thank you, Maria. That's a great overview of how technology is transforming language learning. In our next segment, we'll take a closer look at some specific language learning apps and their features. Stay tuned.
Segment 2. Language learning apps.
Let's dive into language learning apps. How effective are they, Maria?
Apps like Duolingo and Babbel are quite effective, especially for beginners and intermediate learners. They use gamification techniques to make learning engaging and fun. This approach keeps users motivated by rewarding progress with points, badges, and other incentives. Both apps offer structured lessons that cover various aspects of language learning, such as vocabulary, grammar, and basic sentence structure.
What are some specific advantages of using these apps?
There are several advantages. First, they are incredibly accessible. You can use them on your smartphone, tablet, or computer, making it easy to learn anywhere and anytime. Second, they offer convenience. Lessons are usually short and can fit into even the busiest schedules. Third, they allow you to track your progress. Most apps have features that show you how much you've learned, what areas you need to work on, and how consistently you're studying. Finally, they provide a structured approach to learning, guiding you through lessons in a logical sequence.
Those sound like significant benefits. But are there any drawbacks to using language learning apps?
Yes, while they are excellent for building foundational skills in vocabulary and grammar, they do have limitations. For one, they may not be as effective for advanced learners who need to practice complex language structures or nuanced conversation skills. Additionally, these apps often lack the depth and context provided by real-life conversations. They can teach you how to construct sentences, but practicing with native speakers is crucial for mastering pronunciation, intonation, and cultural nuances.
That makes sense. Could you give us some insights into how specific apps like Duolingo and Babbel work?
Sure. Duolingo uses a game-like interface to teach languages. It starts with basic vocabulary and gradually introduces more complex grammar. The app uses repetition and reinforcement to help users retain what they've learned. Duolingo also has a streak feature that encourages daily practice by rewarding users for consecutive days of study. Babbel, on the other hand, offers more structured lessons that are designed by language experts. It focuses on practical phrases and dialogues that you can use in real-life situations. Babbel's lessons are tailored to different levels of proficiency and include exercises to practice listening, speaking, reading, and writing.
It sounds like both apps have unique strengths. What about apps that focus on specific skills, like listening or speaking?
There are several apps designed to hone specific skills. For listening, apps like Audible or specific language learning podcasts can be very helpful. They allow learners to immerse themselves in the language by listening to native speakers in various contexts. For speaking, apps like Tandem and HelloTalk are great because they connect learners with native speakers for language exchange. These apps provide opportunities for real-time conversation practice, which is essential for improving fluency and confidence.
What should learners keep in mind when using these apps to ensure they're getting the most out of them?
Consistency is key. It's important to use these apps regularly, even if it's just for a few minutes each day. This helps reinforce what you've learned and makes it easier to retain new information. Also, don't rely solely on apps. Use them as a supplement to other methods of learning, such as attending classes, reading books, or practicing with native speakers. Lastly, set realistic goals. Understand that while apps are useful, mastering a language takes time and effort.
Great advice, Maria. Are there any other apps you would recommend for specific aspects of language learning?
Yes, there are many apps catering to different needs. For example, Memrisey is excellent for vocabulary building. It uses spaced repetition and mnemonic techniques to help users remember words and phrases. Anki is another great app for creating and studying flashcards, which is particularly useful for memorizing vocabulary and grammar rules. For grammar practice, apps like Grammarly can help you improve your writing skills by providing corrections and explanations for grammatical errors.
What about apps that offer a more immersive experience? Are there any that simulate real-life situations?
Absolutely. Mondly and Busuu are good examples. Mondly use augmented reality, AR, to create immersive language learning experiences. It allows users to interact with virtual characters in real-life scenarios, such as ordering food in a restaurant or asking for directions. Busuu offers interactive dialogues and role-playing exercises that simulate real-life conversations. These features help learners practice speaking and listening in a more dynamic and engaging way.
It's fascinating to see how technology can create such immersive learning environments. As we look to the future, how do you see language learning apps evolving?
I think we'll see more integration of artificial intelligence, AI, to provide personalized learning experiences. AI can analyze a learner's progress and adapt lessons to their specific needs, offering targeted practice where it's needed most. We might also see more use of virtual and augmented reality to create even more immersive and interactive learning environments. Additionally, there will likely be an increase in collaborative and social learning features, allowing learners to connect and practice with others more easily.
That sounds very promising. Before we wrap up this segment, do you have any final thoughts or tips for our listeners who are using or considering using language learning apps?
My main tip is to be consistent and patient. Language learning is a gradual process, and it's important to stay committed. Use the apps regularly and take advantage of all the features they offer. Combine app-based learning with other methods, like speaking with native speakers, reading, and listening to authentic materials. And most importantly, enjoy the process. Learning a new language opens up so many opportunities and experiences, so have fun with it.
Thank you, Maria. That's excellent advice. In our next segment, we'll explore online courses and MOOCs and how they can complement language learning apps. Stay tuned.
Segment 3. Online courses and MOOCs. Online courses and MOOCs, which stands for Massive Open Online Courses, are another popular option for language learners. How do they compare to language learning apps, Maria?
Online courses and MOOCs offer a different type of learning experience compared to apps. Platforms like Coursera, edX, and FutureLearn host these courses, which are often developed by universities or language experts. These courses provide more in-depth and structured learning opportunities. They typically include a mix of video lectures, quizzes, reading materials, and forums for discussion. This comprehensive approach allows learners to dive deeper into the language, exploring its grammar, vocabulary, and cultural context more thoroughly.
That sounds quite comprehensive. What are some of the key benefits of taking these online courses?
One of the primary benefits is the depth of learning they offer. Since these courses are often designed by experts, they provide high-quality content and a well-structured curriculum. This can be very beneficial for learners who want a thorough understanding of the language. Another advantage is the interactive elements. Many courses include discussion forums where learners can ask questions, share experiences, and get feedback from instructors and peers. This sense of community can enhance the learning experience. Additionally, some courses offer certificates upon completion, which can be a valuable credential for personal or professional development.
The community aspect sounds very enriching. However, are there any limitations to these online courses and MOOCs?
Yes, there are some limitations. One is the time commitment required. Unlike apps, which you can use for a few minutes each day, online courses often require more substantial blocks of time each week to watch lectures, complete assignments, and participate in discussions. This can be challenging for people with busy schedules. Another limitation is the lack of flexibility in terms of learning pace. While some courses are self-paced, many follow a set schedule with deadlines for assignments and exams. This might not suit everyone, especially those who prefer to learn at their own pace.
That's a good point. So, for someone considering an online course or MOOC, what should they keep in mind to make the most out of it?
It's important to assess your own learning style and schedule before enrolling. Make sure you can commit the necessary time and effort to complete the course. Set aside regular study times and stay organized with a calendar or planner. Engage actively in the course by participating in discussions, asking questions, and connecting with other learners. This interaction can significantly enhance your understanding and retention of the material. Additionally, take advantage of any supplementary materials or resources provided by the course. These can offer further insights and deepen your learning.
That's great advice. Can you share some examples of popular online language courses and what makes them stand out?
Certainly. One well-known course is the First Steps in Chinese on Coursera, offered by Peking University. It covers basic Mandarin Chinese and focuses on practical language skills for everyday situations. The course includes video lectures, quizzes, and interactive exercises. Another example is Spanish Vocabulary Meeting People by University of California, Davis, also on Coursera. It focuses on building conversational skills and includes cultural notes to help learners understand the context in which the language is used. Both of these courses provide a structured and immersive learning experience, making them highly effective.
It sounds like these courses offer a lot of value. What about the role of forums and peer interactions in these online courses?
Forums and peer interactions play a crucial role in online courses. They provide a platform for learners to engage with each other, share experiences, and help each other out. This collaborative learning environment can make the learning process more enjoyable and effective. Instructors often participate in the forums, answering questions and providing additional insights. This interaction helps to clarify doubts and deepen understanding. Moreover, discussing topics with peers can expose learners to different perspectives and cultural nuances, enriching their overall language learning experience.
It's interesting to hear how these interactions can enhance learning. Are there any particular strategies that learners can use to get the most out of these forums?
Yes, there are several strategies learners can use. First, be active in the forums from the beginning. Introduce yourself, share your goals, and engage in discussions. This helps build a sense of community and makes it easier to ask for help when needed. Second, don't be afraid to ask questions. No question is too small, and chances are others might have the same question. Third, offer help and share your knowledge with others. Teaching and explaining concepts to others can reinforce your own understanding. Lastly, stay respectful and open-minded. Everyone is there to learn, and different viewpoints can provide valuable insights.
Those are excellent tips, Maria. It's clear that participating actively can make a big difference. Before we move on, do you have any final thoughts on the role of online courses and MOOCs in language learning?
Online courses and MOOCs are a powerful resource for language learners. They offer high-quality content, expert instruction, and a structured learning path. While they require a significant time commitment and a degree of self-discipline, the benefits they provide in terms of depth of knowledge and community interaction are immense. I encourage learners to explore these options and see how they can complement other methods of learning, such as apps and real-life practice.
Thank you, Maria. That's a comprehensive overview of online courses and MOOCs. In our next segment, we'll delve into the role of virtual classrooms and online tutoring in language learning. Stay tuned. Segment 4: Virtual classrooms and tutoring.
Let's talk about virtual classrooms and online tutoring. How effective are these methods, Maria?
Virtual classrooms and online tutoring platforms such as italki, Preply, and Verbling offer a highly effective way to learn languages. These platforms provide live interaction with teachers, which is crucial for practicing speaking skills and receiving real-time feedback. Unlike apps or online courses, virtual classrooms allow for direct, personalized instruction tailored to the learner's specific needs and goals. This direct interaction helps learners to improve their pronunciation, grammar, and conversational abilities much more efficiently.
It sounds like there are significant benefits to these methods. What would you say are the main pros and cons of virtual classrooms and online tutoring?
There are definitely some key advantages. The main benefit is the personalized instruction you receive. Tutors can assess your strengths and weaknesses and design lessons that specifically address your needs. This customized approach can accelerate your learning progress. Additionally, these platforms provide the opportunity to practice real-life conversations, which is essential for developing fluency and confidence in speaking. The immediate feedback from tutors helps learners to correct mistakes and improve their language skills in real time.
That sounds very beneficial, but what about the downsides? Are there any significant drawbacks to using virtual classrooms and online tutoring?
Yes, there are a few considerations to keep in mind. One of the main drawbacks is the cost. Personalized tutoring can be more expensive compared to other methods like apps or online courses. Prices can vary significantly depending on the tutor's qualifications and experience. Another potential issue is scheduling. Since these sessions are live, you'll need to find a time that works for both you and the tutor, which can be challenging, especially if you're in different time zones. Additionally, while virtual classrooms offer excellent speaking practice, they might not always provide as much structured learning in other areas like reading and writing.
That's a good point. Can you explain more about how platforms like italki and Preply work?
Certainly. Platforms like italki and Preply connect learners with tutors from all over the world. You can search for tutors based on their language, teaching experience, availability, and hourly rate. Most tutors offer trial lessons at a reduced cost, so you can see if their teaching style suits you. Once you find a tutor you like, you can schedule regular lessons. These platforms typically offer a variety of lesson types, including conversation practice, grammar lessons, and even preparation for language proficiency exams. Sessions are usually conducted via video call, which allows for face-to-face interaction.
That seems very convenient. What should learners look for when choosing a tutor on these platforms?
When choosing a tutor, it's important to consider several factors. First, look at their qualifications and teaching experience. A tutor with a strong background in language education can provide more effective instruction. Second, read reviews from other students to get an idea of the tutor's teaching style and effectiveness. Third, consider their availability and whether it aligns with your schedule. Finally, take advantage of trial lessons to see if the tutor's approach works for you. It's important to find a tutor you feel comfortable with and who can adapt to your learning needs.
Those are great tips. What about the experience of using virtual classrooms? How do they compare to traditional in-person classes?
Virtual classrooms offer many of the benefits of traditional in-person classes with added convenience. In a virtual classroom, you can interact with the teacher and other students in real time, participate in discussions, and collaborate on exercises. However, you can do all of this from the comfort of your own home. This flexibility is especially beneficial for those who may not have access to local language classes or who have busy schedules. The main difference is the lack of physical presence. But with advancements in video conferencing technology, the experience can be very immersive and engaging.
It sounds like virtual classrooms can be quite effective. Are there any specific features or tools used in these virtual environments that enhance the learning experience?
Yes, many virtual classrooms incorporate a variety of tools to enhance the learning experience. These include interactive whiteboards for writing and drawing, screen sharing for reviewing documents and websites, and chat functions for real-time text communication. Some platforms also offer recording features so you can review lessons later. Additionally, breakout rooms can be used for small group activities and practice sessions. These tools help create an interactive and dynamic learning environment that can closely mimic a traditional classroom setting.
That's fascinating. Can you give us an example of a typical lesson in a virtual classroom?
A typical lesson in a virtual classroom might start with a brief review of previous material, followed by the introduction of new vocabulary or grammar points. The teacher might use slides or an interactive whiteboard to explain concepts and provide examples. Next, students might engage in various activities, such as role-playing dialogues, practicing pronunciation, or completing exercises together. There could also be a discussion or debate on a specific topic to practice conversational skills. The lesson usually ends with a recap of what was covered and some homework or practice suggestions to reinforce learning.
That sounds very engaging. How do learners typically progress in these virtual environments compared to other methods?
Learners often make significant progress in virtual environments because of the personalized and interactive nature of the lessons. The immediate feedback and tailored instruction help address specific areas of improvement more effectively than self-study methods. Additionally, the regular practice and real-time interaction with a teacher can greatly enhance speaking and listening skills, which are often challenging to develop through apps or traditional online courses alone. Consistent practice in a supportive and interactive environment can lead to faster and more substantial improvements in overall language proficiency.
It's clear that virtual classrooms and online tutoring offer many advantages. Do you have any final thoughts or advice for our listeners who might be considering these methods?
My main advice is to explore different options and find what works best for you. Virtual classrooms and online tutoring can be highly effective, but it's important to find a tutor or course that fits your learning style and schedule. Don't be afraid to try out a few different tutors until you find one you're comfortable with. Also, be consistent with your practice and make the most of the interactive opportunities these platforms offer. Combining virtual tutoring with other methods, such as using apps for daily practice or joining language exchange groups, can provide a well-rounded learning experience.
Thank you, Maria. That's excellent advice. In our next segment, we'll discuss language exchange programs and how they can complement other learning methods. Stay tuned.
Segment 5. Language exchange platforms. Language exchange platforms are becoming increasingly popular. How do they work, Maria?
Language exchange platforms like Tandem and HelloTalk are fantastic tools for language learners. These platforms connect learners with native speakers of their target language. The basic idea is mutual benefit. You help your partner learn your native language while they help you learn theirs. This creates a reciprocal learning environment where both parties can practice speaking, listening, reading, and writing in real-life contexts. The platforms often include features such as text, voice, and video chat, making it easy to communicate and learn from each other.
That sounds like a very practical approach. What are some of the key benefits of using these language exchange platforms?
One of the main benefits is real-life practice. Speaking with native speakers helps learners improve their pronunciation, fluency, and conversational skills in a natural setting. Another significant advantage is cultural exchange. Learning directly from a native speaker allows you to gain insights into their culture, traditions, and colloquial expressions, which are often not covered in traditional language courses. Additionally, these platforms are usually free or very low cost, making them accessible to a wide range of learners. They also offer flexibility in terms of when and how often you want to practice, accommodating different schedules and learning paces.
The cultural exchange aspect sounds particularly enriching. Are there any potential drawbacks to using language exchange platforms?
Yes, there are a few challenges to be aware of. One of the main issues is finding a consistent and reliable language partner. Because these exchanges are based on mutual benefit, it's crucial to find someone who is equally committed to regular practice. The quality of exchanges can also vary greatly. Some partners may be more focused and structured in their learning approach, while others might be more casual. Additionally, there's the potential for language imbalances, where one partner may dominate the conversation in their native language, limiting the practice opportunity for the other.
That makes sense. How can learners overcome these challenges and make the most out of language exchange platforms?
To get the most out of language exchange platforms, it's important to set clear expectations and goals from the start. Discuss with your partner how often you will meet, how long each session will be, and how you will divide the time between languages. Consistency is key, so try to establish a regular schedule that works for both of you. It's also helpful to prepare for each session. Think about what you want to practice or discuss and bring relevant materials or topics to the conversation. Finally, be patient and flexible. It might take some time to find the right partner, and there will likely be some trial and error involved.
That's really helpful advice. Can you give us an example of how a typical language exchange session might go?
Certainly. A typical language exchange session might start with some casual conversation to warm up and get comfortable. For example, you might ask each other about your day or discuss recent news. Then you could move on to more structured practice. One half of the session could focus on one language, while the other half focuses on the other. You could practice specific topics or skills, such as asking for directions, discussing hobbies, or role-playing different scenarios. It's important to correct each other's mistakes gently and provide constructive feedback. The session might end with a recap of what was learned and setting goals for the next meeting.
That sounds like a well-rounded approach. What tools or features do these platforms offer to support language exchange?
Many language exchange platforms offer a variety of tools to enhance the learning experience. These include text chat for writing practice, voice and video calls for speaking and listening practice, and translation features to help with difficult words or phrases. Some platforms also have built-in correction tools where partners can highlight and correct mistakes directly in the chat. Additionally, there are features like topic suggestions and language games to keep the sessions engaging and fun. These tools help facilitate a smooth and effective exchange.
It's great to hear about all these features. How do these exchanges compare to traditional classroom learning?
Language exchanges offer a more informal and flexible learning environment compared to traditional classroom settings. They provide practical, real-world language practice that is often more spontaneous and less structured. This can be very beneficial for improving conversational skills and fluency. However, because they lack the structured curriculum and professional instruction of a classroom, language exchanges are best used as a supplement to other learning methods. Combining language exchanges with formal classes, apps, and self-study can provide a comprehensive learning experience.
It seems like language exchanges can be a valuable part of a well-rounded language learning strategy. Do you have any tips for maintaining motivation and making consistent progress through these exchanges?
Absolutely. Staying motivated can sometimes be challenging, but there are several strategies you can use. First, set specific, achievable goals for your language learning and track your progress. This could be anything from learning a certain number of new words each week to being able to hold a conversation on a specific topic. Second, keep the exchanges interesting by varying the topics and activities. You could discuss current events, watch a short video and talk about it, or even play language games. Third, celebrate your achievements no matter how small. Recognizing your progress can boost your motivation. Finally, build a rapport with your language partner. A strong personal connection can make the learning process more enjoyable and keep you engaged.
Those are fantastic tips, Maria. Before we wrap up this segment, do you have any final thoughts on the role of language exchange platforms in language learning?
Language exchange platforms are a wonderful resource for anyone looking to improve their language skills. They offer real-life practice, cultural insights, and the opportunity to form connections with people from around the world. While there are some challenges, the benefits far outweigh them if you approach it with the right mindset and strategies. I encourage learners to explore these platforms and see how they can enhance their language learning journey. Remember to be patient, consistent, and open to new experiences. Language learning is a journey, and every conversation brings you one step closer to fluency.
Thank you, Maria. That's excellent advice. In our next segment, we'll explore immersion experiences and travel as methods of language learning. Stay tuned.
Segment 6, Immersive Technologies, VR/AR.
Immersive technologies like virtual reality, VR, and augmented reality, AR, are gaining popularity. How can they be effectively used for language learning, Maria?
VR and AR offer exciting possibilities for language learners by creating immersive environments where they can practice in simulated real-world scenarios. For example, apps like Mondly VR allow users to engage in conversations with virtual characters, explore virtual environments, and complete language learning tasks in a more interactive and realistic way than traditional methods.
That sounds fascinating. What would you say are some of the main benefits and drawbacks of using VR and AR for language learning?
Certainly. Let's start with the benefits. One of the biggest advantages is the high level of engagement they provide. VR and AR simulations can make language learning more enjoyable and interactive by immersing learners in realistic contexts where they can apply their language skills. This immersive experience helps improve retention and understanding of vocabulary, grammar, and cultural nuances. Another benefit is the ability to practice real-life scenarios, such as ordering food in a restaurant or navigating a city, in a safe and controlled environment.
Those are compelling advantages. What about the drawbacks or challenges of using VR and AR?
There are a few considerations to keep in mind. One challenge is the cost. VR and AR equipment, such as headsets and controllers, can be expensive, making them less accessible to some learners. Additionally, these technologies require specific hardware and software compatibility, which may limit their use depending on the learner's setup. Another potential drawback is the learning curve associated with using VR and AR systems. Some learners may find it initially challenging to navigate virtual environments or interact with virtual characters effectively. Lastly, while VR and AR can enhance certain aspects of language learning, they may not replace the need for human interaction and real-world practice entirely.
That's understandable. Can you give us some examples of how VR and AR are currently being used in language education?
It sounds like there's a lot of potential in these technologies. How do you see VR and AR evolving in the future of language education?
I believe VR and AR will continue to play an increasingly important role in language education. As technology advances and becomes more affordable, we can expect to see more sophisticated VR and AR applications tailored specifically for language learners. These technologies have the potential to simulate diverse cultural and linguistic environments, providing learners with immersive experiences that are both educational and enjoyable. Additionally, advancements in artificial intelligence could enhance the realism and interactivity of virtual characters, making conversations in VR more dynamic and responsive to learners' interactions.
That's exciting to think about. For our listeners who are interested in trying VR or AR for language learning, what advice would you give them?
If you're interested in exploring VR or AR for language learning, start by researching available apps and platforms that cater to your target language. Look for user reviews and demonstrations to get an idea of what to expect. Consider trying out a demo or trial version if available to see how comfortable you are with the technology. Make sure your hardware meets the system requirements for the VR or AR application you want to use. Finally, approach it with an open mind and be patient with yourself as you learn to navigate the virtual environments and interact with virtual characters.
Great advice, Maria. Before we conclude this segment, do you have any final thoughts on the potential impact of immersive technologies in language learning?
Immersive technologies have the potential to revolutionize language learning by making it more engaging, interactive, and effective. While there are challenges to overcome, such as cost and accessibility, the benefits of providing learners with realistic, contextual learning experiences are significant. Whether used independently or in combination with other methods, VR and AR can enhance language acquisition by creating environments where learners can practice and apply their skills in meaningful ways. I encourage our listeners to explore these technologies and see how they can enhance their own language learning journey.
Thank you, Maria. That was a fascinating discussion on VR and AR in language education. In our final segment, we'll discuss practical tips for creating a personalized language learning plan. Stay tuned.
Segment 7. Social media and online communities. Social media and online communities also play a significant role in language learning. How can they be effectively used, Maria?
Social media platforms like Facebook, Reddit, and specialized language learning forums are valuable resources for language learners. They provide a supportive environment where learners can connect with others who share their passion for languages. These platforms offer a wide range of benefits, including access to learning materials, opportunities to practice with native speakers, and instant feedback on language skills.
What are some specific ways in which social media and online communities can benefit language learners?
One of the main advantages is the sense of community they foster. Language learners can join groups or follow pages dedicated to their target language, where they can ask questions, share resources, and interact with like-minded individuals from around the world. This community support can be incredibly motivating and encouraging, especially during challenging times in the learning process. Additionally, social media platforms allow for instant feedback. You can post questions or recordings of your language practice and receive feedback and corrections from native speakers or more advanced learners. This immediate interaction helps to improve language skills rapidly.
That sounds very beneficial. Are there any potential challenges or drawbacks to using social media and online communities for language learning?
Yes, there are a few considerations to keep in mind. One challenge is the vast amount of information available on these platforms. It can be overwhelming to navigate through the multitude of posts, resources, and opinions, making it challenging to find reliable and accurate information. Another issue is the variability in the quality of advice and feedback provided by other users. While many community members offer helpful insights and support, not all advice may be accurate or suitable for your specific learning needs. It's important to approach social media and online forums critically and verify information when possible.
How can learners effectively navigate these challenges and make the most out of social media and online communities?
To maximize the benefits of social media and online communities for language learning, learners can take several proactive steps. First, join reputable groups or follow established pages that focus on language learning and have active and engaged members. Look for communities where discussions are constructive and where members provide helpful feedback and resources. Second, participate actively by asking questions, sharing your progress, and contributing to discussions. Engaging with others not only helps you learn but also builds connections within the community. Third, be discerning about the information you consume. Double-check facts and consider different perspectives before accepting advice or recommendations.
Those are great tips for navigating online communities. Can you give us some examples of how learners can use social media platforms specifically for language learning?
Certainly. On platforms like Facebook, learners can join language-specific groups or pages dedicated to topics such as grammar explanations, vocabulary practice, or language exchange. These groups often have members at different proficiency levels, allowing for diverse learning opportunities. Reddit offers a similar environment with subreddits focused on various languages, where users share resources, ask questions, and discuss language-related topics. Language learning forums like Word Reference or the Polyglot Club provide structured discussions and language exchange opportunities with members worldwide.
It sounds like there's a lot of potential for interactive learning on these platforms. How do you see the role of social media and online communities evolving in language education?
I believe social media and online communities will continue to play a crucial role in language education, offering learners access to diverse resources and interactive learning experiences. As these platforms evolve, we may see more integration of multimedia content, live events such as language challenges or virtual meetups, and enhanced features for language exchange and peer-to-peer learning. Additionally, advancements in artificial intelligence could facilitate personalized learning experiences on social media, tailoring content and recommendations based on individual learning goals and preferences.
That's exciting to think about. For our listeners who are new to using social media for language learning, what advice would you give them?
If you're just starting to explore social media for language learning, begin by identifying your goals and interests. Choose platforms and groups that align with your language learning objectives and where you feel comfortable interacting with others. Take time to familiarize yourself with the platform's features and etiquette. Be proactive in engaging with the community by asking questions, sharing resources, and participating in discussions. Don't hesitate to reach out to more experienced learners or native speakers for advice and guidance. Lastly, remember that consistency is key. Regular participation and interaction will help you build connections, improve your language skills, and stay motivated on your language learning journey.
Thank you, Maria. Those are excellent tips for our listeners. Before we conclude this segment, do you have any final thoughts on the role of social media and online communities in language learning?
Social media and online communities offer language learners unparalleled opportunities for connection, support, and interactive learning. By leveraging these platforms effectively, learners can access a wealth of resources, receive valuable feedback, and engage in meaningful conversations with speakers of their target language. Whether you're looking to practice conversation skills, share language learning tips, or simply connect with others who share your passion for languages, social media and online communities provide a dynamic and enriching environment for language education.
Thank you, Maria, for your insights on social media and online communities in language learning. In our final segment, we'll discuss practical tips for creating a personalized language learning plan. Stay tuned.
Segment 8: Future Trends in Language Learning Technology.
Looking ahead, what can we anticipate as future trends in language learning technology?
The future of language learning technology holds exciting possibilities. One significant trend will be advancements in artificial intelligence, AI, and machine learning. These technologies will enable more personalized and adaptive learning experiences for learners. AI algorithms can analyze learners' progress, identify areas for improvement, and provide targeted feedback and recommendations tailored to individual learning styles and preferences. This personalized approach has the potential to enhance learning outcomes by adapting content and pacing to meet the unique needs of each learner.
That sounds promising. What other trends do you foresee in the evolution of language learning technology?
Another trend to watch is the continued development of augmented reality, AR, and virtual reality, VR, applications for language learning. As these technologies become more sophisticated and accessible, they will offer increasingly immersive and interactive learning experiences. Imagine being able to practice conversations with virtual native speakers in realistic settings, or explore cultural landmarks while learning about their history and language. These immersive experiences can deepen understanding and engagement in language learning.
How should language learners prepare themselves for these upcoming changes in technology?
To prepare for these advancements, learners should stay informed about new technologies emerging in the language learning space. Be open to exploring and experimenting with different tools and platforms that incorporate AI, AR, and VR. Many language learning apps and platforms already integrate elements of these technologies, so start by familiarizing yourself with what's available. Additionally, be proactive in integrating technology into your learning routine. Embrace opportunities to practice speaking, listening, reading, and writing in diverse digital environments. By staying curious and adaptive, learners can leverage these technological advancements to enhance their language skills effectively.
It sounds like adaptability will be key. Are there any specific skills or strategies learners should focus on as technology continues to evolve?
Absolutely. As technology evolves, learners can benefit from developing digital literacy skills related to language learning tools and platforms. This includes understanding how to navigate and utilize AI-driven features for language practice, such as speech recognition and personalized feedback systems. Additionally, cultivate critical thinking skills to evaluate the quality and effectiveness of digital resources and tools. Being able to discern between reliable information and less credible sources will empower learners to make informed decisions about their learning journey.
What role do you see AI playing in the future of language education?
AI holds immense potential to transform language education by providing intelligent tutoring systems that adapt to learners' needs in real time. These systems can analyze vast amounts of data on learner performance, identify patterns, and deliver customized learning experiences. AI-powered language tutors could offer interactive lessons, simulate real-world conversations, and provide immediate feedback on pronunciation, grammar, and vocabulary usage. Moreover, AI can facilitate more efficient language assessment and certification processes, offering learners personalized pathways to achieve their language learning goals.
That's fascinating. How do you think educators and language institutions will adapt to these technological advancements?
Educators and institutions will need to embrace innovation and incorporate these technologies into their teaching methodologies. This may involve integrating AI-driven tools into curriculum design, offering hybrid learning models that combine online platforms with traditional classroom instruction, and providing professional development opportunities for educators to enhance their digital teaching skills. By leveraging technology effectively, educators can create dynamic and engaging learning environments that cater to diverse learner needs and preferences.
As we look forward to these advancements, what advice would you give our listeners who are eager to embrace technology in their language learning journey?
For listeners eager to embrace technology, I encourage you to approach it with curiosity and an open mind. Start by exploring different language learning apps, platforms, and tools that incorporate AI, AR, or VR elements. Experiment with these technologies to discover which ones resonate best with your learning style and goals. Don't be afraid to seek guidance from online communities, educators, or language experts who can provide recommendations and insights based on their experiences. Finally, stay proactive and consistent in integrating technology into your daily language practice. The more you engage with digital resources and tools, the more you'll benefit from their transformative potential in advancing your language skills.
Thank you, Maria, for your valuable insights into the future of language learning technology. It's clear that exciting developments lie ahead. In our final segment, we'll discuss practical tips for creating a personalized language learning plan. Stay tuned.
Now let's address some questions from our listeners. Julia, what's our first question today?
Our first question comes from Sarah. She asks, what is the best app for beginners?
For beginners, I highly recommend Duolingo. It's a user-friendly app that covers the basics of many languages very effectively. Duolingo uses gamification to make learning engaging and offers structured lessons in vocabulary, grammar, and listening comprehension. It's a great starting point for anyone new to language learning.
Thank you, Maria. Our next question is from Mark. Mark asks, how can I improve my speaking skills with technology?
Improving speaking skills with technology involves a few strategies. First, consider using language exchange platforms like Tandem or HelloTalk, where you can connect with native speakers for language practice. These platforms allow you to engage in real conversations, receive feedback on your speaking skills, and learn colloquial expressions and cultural nuances directly from native speakers. Another option is online tutoring services such as italki or Verbling. These platforms offer personalized one-on-one sessions with language tutors who can provide structured speaking practice, correct pronunciation, and give tailored feedback to help you improve your speaking fluency and confidence.
Great advice, Maria. Our listeners are curious about different aspects of language learning technology. Let's move on to our next question.
Thank you so much, Maria, for joining us today and sharing your valuable insights on technology in language learning.
Thank you for having me. It was a pleasure discussing this topic with both of you.
And thank you to all our listeners for tuning in to the English Globe podcast. We hope you found today's discussion informative and inspiring.
Remember, you can stay connected with us by subscribing to our YouTube channel, The English Globe, where we continue to explore language learning tips, discussions, and more.
If you have any further questions or topics you'd like us to cover in future episodes, feel free to reach out to us. Your feedback is always appreciated.
Indeed, until next time, happy learning.
Goodbye, everyone.
Take care and see you soon.